People want to realize and say here that the United States is not like making anything, and that we really are still the United States. Oh, wait, no, it's not. The table's totally turned. The media doesn't like Biden. This is just horrible. No, it's 100% not. You want to know the honest truth why? They're stupid. The United States was dead with Gerald Ford. Underneath everything, since they refused to nationalize the educational system and said that it seemed too much like Nazi Germany, then blamed Russia or else Nazi Italy. And y'all like saying Nazi, just because they take the KGB and change its name doesn't mean it's not the same thing. But we did elect one of their people who's like, I'm just not sure which division to join. And Donald Trump's already joined a division. Um, as it is, the United States was over with. What Nixon did was totally legal because the Democratic Party was still under Reconstruction and penalties from the Civil War. He could go in there anytime out there with it and everything else, and they refused to let him come in and said you have to have a warrant. And that wouldn't have been until 1976. They would have to have a warrant for any of it. It's just the common public was never taught that and doesn't follow regulations. I mean, after all, rules are made for them to be broken, and if you are in the guidelines of your rule, you'll be fired from your job. That's why they tell me I have to search things when I'm not an unarmed guard and open up people's bags and pockets. Oh, I'm sorry, an armed guard. Yeah, see, gotta always make some sort of mistake because we're Americans. Anyway, Joe Biden's like, when Donald Trump gets reelected and he goes back in and tries to take over Afghanistan and everything, he'll know exactly where the Taliban are and everything else, and we're cooperating with lists. This guy is the biggest genocider of whatever it is. He basically got everybody in Central Asia that we knew about, that's like from the tribalistic wild zone, to walk out there, and it's not the registered tribal zone of like China, and put their names all on a list, cooperate with the USA and everything. And we gave a list of that to the Taliban. I'm sorry, Al Qaeda, since all the Taliban's dead. And Al Qaeda replaced him about when our first banking thing went down in 2008. Just being honest with you, he gave them a list for them to go door to door for all the important people, like in World War II and the Axis powers, to exterminate and eradicate and be like, here's the shit. You don't, this is what you need. These people, you don't need them. It's like when Rome would throw out different people that they go, you let this happen to us, you've been found guilty, you're going to live with the Americans forever because you're the reason why we lost the war. They would do that every day, every hour, throwing out 50 to 5,000 people to one or two individuals over at the gates of Rome and anywhere that they could throw them out of the city. And you can say that it's all made up. And it's like, Colin, do you look off to the left and going, yes, I'm a left-sided thinker. That's why I was supposedly better with sports and wear tie-dye. So, to you. Oh, I didn't show all of it. And any other expression to you. Just saying honestly and openly here, I do not understand how you could fathom what has really happened here, other than realizing that we were elected not Hitler, but basically someone who's between Emperor Hirohito's death squads of the peoples on his island. You go, they're not blonde like Benjamin Netanyahu and everything else, who honestly he looks more Aryan than Jewish. Even though he's got a thing for like, I'm going to be the one in my family to breed everybody to look exactly like me. It's what happens afterwards, and we prove that we're the strongest. But, I don't know anything that ever happens around Earth, anything. Anyway, moving right along with it, and his basically attempt to become the Holy Roman Empire and say, of course we're holy. Jesus, we all descend from him. Crazy people. Anyway, moving right along from everything else here and this other stuff, and trying to look about how we've elected a human genocider and going, I'm doing it as polite and public as possible. And since I've not decided really which part of the, Axis powers crusade against the USA, since it held arms and shot Romans, and every one of them that lost a family member turned into an Italian. I'm just saying, when are they going to actually just come over here with the UN Army and drag everybody out and replace our government with something, since we've basically gone against, things of the Holocaust Remembrance Act, Native Peoples Appropriations Act, everything else, and other genocidal acts out there that we supposedly are a part of in the UN and everything else. I mean, honestly, they say that it can't be taken territory because these people filled out a thing and sent it to the UN, where the UN can't take any territory or anything else, and it's part of our sovereign borders. It's not an area that's considered a territorial no-land zone, and isn't a place that's not been claimed by there in a major city. And the people aren't residents of that city that made the documents and everything. And those people did come from a former genocidal regime, so they don't have the right to claim land or anything else under the world court system. But, we did elect Joe Biden. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's like, I'm not taking it away. The people are, because I said words and I motivated them, and then they said, yes, do that. So there's an obvious egg before the chicken, and it's Joe Biden. But you all elected me, and you knew what I was up to and everything else, and y'all couldn't handle more Donald Trump trying to make this into a Christian theocracy and get us to hate everything that we ever did and change our things around to a bunch of lamb worshippers just because it's a good, healthy meat. Anyway, I'm not sure where else I can go with this, but I'm not really sure how you can't even look at this dogmatically, which is taught in school because we were colonized by religious theocracies. This is taught in elementary school, even though I've been told over and over that me saying California wasn't a real state in 1850 because it was forced to send a senator and everything else and wasn't allowed to have its own election and was still in a pre-state thing because it came to the Union so quickly. And then wasn't officially visited by a president until later. And in Ripley's Believe It or Not, even President Abraham Lincoln referred to it as a separate part or colony of the USA and appointed a regental, almost king, over it. And that's where the term supposedly Hollywood royalty comes from, is family lineages that came from that time period. But, they've said, so they don't ever really have good textbooks out there or anything else, and all these other old textbooks were wrong and bad. And I'm going, seems to me it's like World War I politics, because they're German, and once you're an organized territory, you're part of Germany and legal for it. But whatever. Anyway, I know I've digressed here on some other issues, but maybe we could just, like and subscribe if you like it, or if not, Thumbs down, leave a comment, whatever. Call on. Signing off for the day.